Douglas, could you just back up a bit and explain how did your project start? What inspired it? What motivated it?
I think it was reading book. It all started with reading books of people making big travels.
Yeah.
One of them was making like around Europe by sea kayaking.
Okay.
And these kind of people with good pictures, good stories, I think they inspired us to do it. And when you read this, when you are 16, 17 years old, then you start to think about it seriously more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And we were lucky because we were two friends dreaming about the same things.
Okay.
So then we started to speak about it to each other, and that's how it started.
Okay.
So it was since many years that we were thinking about doing a big trip with a kayak. And just one day we decided to do it now, because we realized that if it was not now, we would never manage to do it. So from that time, it took us 1.5 years to prepare it.
So your dream turned into reality with about 1.5 years preparation?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And could you just describe a little bit more what the Mare Nostrum project, what it is? Just give us a little bit of an overview.
Yeah. So it's an adventure. We wanted to go on a big adventure with a kayak.
Yeah.
And travel from Gibraltar to Istanbul, following the north coast of the Mediterranean Sea. But also, we were both quite passionate about the marine ecosystems and the environment. So we just wonder if we could help the environment or the science to protect the sea and to communicate about it to the people. So our project was a sportive project, and then we added scientific aims with educational aims to make it more useful and interesting also for us. So we took part in scientific projects, and we included schools in the project to follow us and in contact with us and exchange about it. That's a bit the spirit of the project.
Schools, obviously your school, but how many other schools were included in the project?
For the whole project, there was about 25 schools included.
Excellent. And in which countries?
Yes, in almost every country. We didn't do schools in Albania or Slovenia, but almost in every country.
Excellent. And how long were you, I can't say on the road, but how long were you on the water for?
So from the day we left Gibraltar to Istanbul, it took us 14 months.
14 months.
435 days traveling.
What was the average distance you did in a day?
In one day, completely depends on the state of the sea.
Sure.
And more or less we could do between 20 kilometers up to 50 kilometers in one day. Yeah. The maximum was 70 kilometers, and the minimum was 0. When there is storm, we cannot go out. So there is a big range of kilometers we can do in one day.
How did you?
That's why it was difficult to plan the trip.
Yeah, I can imagine. How did you organize your sleeping arrangements and self-care?
Sleeping bag in the kayak.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah.
Plus tent?
Yeah, plus tents in winter.
Okay.
In summer we would not have the tents because it was heavy.
Okay.
So we could sleep everywhere we wanted.
Okay.
On the beach or harbors, any place. But every night we had to go back and land and sleep there. We could not spend a night on the kayak.
Sure.
So for that it was quite easy to organize the sleeping. Just in winter we like to go to harbors to get hot shower and sometimes hospitality.
Sure. I'm sure you were invited by many different places along the way.
Yeah. We received such a good hospitality by the people on the way. It was good for us physically and psychologically to meet some people, and culturally it was also very interesting to be welcome in the house of the people, to be able to spend sometimes 1 day, 2 days, depending on the meteo forecast.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we received a very good hospitality from the Mediterranean people, and this in all the countries, everywhere, from Gibraltar to Istanbul. It was quite good.
C'est une belle histoire, ça, une belle histoire humaine. What inspired? What did you find the most inspiring along the way? Was
The
it
most
the
inspiring thing.
people? Was it the
Yeah.
environment?
Well,
Was it?
yeah, I will tell for my side,
Yeah.
because I'm quite passionate about these people who were working very hard trying to protect their piece of land on the sea.
Yeah.
We've met many people trying to build a marine reserve or kayaking clubs, things like that. Always aiming to protect, to forbid illegal fishings and these kind of things.
Okay.
And these people were in Italy mostly.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting to see them and to meet them and to see how they were working hard, trying to get funds by the government to protect their piece of sea and things like that. So this was very inspiring and interesting for us to see that.
Is this
These people isolated who want to protect their piece of land.
and this is something that you happened across en route, or is this something you sort of anticipated, or was this sort of a surprise along the journey?
No. It was not anticipated. It was not prepared like that.
Okay.
So these people, we meet them because they hear about us, or we hear about them, and it happens like that,
Okay.
completely randomly.
Okay. And what were your biggest challenges?
The biggest challenges
Yeah.
was, I think, it was to last for such a long time. Making making something for a short time, I think everybody can do it.
Yeah.
But the big dimension, time-wise, of our trip, I think it was the real challenge. Because doing the same things every day for 14 months, I think that's where the challenge lies. Yeah.
With the same people.
To have the energy and the motivation to do it for such a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's challenging. And the last 2 months, 3 months, we wanted to arrive. We wanted to go home and finish it. Also because winter was starting to come back again.
Right.
And winter is difficult. So we went very fast. The last 2 months we broke the records for the distance records.
I bet.
Per day.
And was that? Would you say that you shared that challenge with your teammate Louis as well? Was that his biggest challenge as well?
I think also, yeah. There was many challenges. There was other challenges like sports-wise, to get our body adapted to
Sure.
do this sport every day. Okay, it's quite heavy. So at the beginning it was a challenge to do it. Then after 2-3 months it was okay. There was also another challenge. It was to be able to live together for such a long time. Okay,
Sure.
because we were 24 hours together, all the time, every day for such a big time. So this also is a challenge.
So when you look at having to face something day in, day out, which is basically it's resilience and living with somebody at the same time 24 hours a day, what did you learn about yourself in the process?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I said when you were saying that the two challenges that you faced. The first one was having to actually continue on for 14 months, and
Yes.
the other one was living with the same person for 24 hours for 14 months. That you had to paddle together, you had to cooperate. You can't really afford to have a big fight under those conditions. So you learned a lot in the you overcame those two challenges. What did you learn about yourself in the process of overcoming those challenges? Because obviously you met them. There were challenges,
Yes.
and you met them, and you got over them. So what did you learn about yourself?
Well, you learn that sometimes you have quite a lot of energy and motivation also to give to the other person, and other times you have the one who have less motivation, less energy, and the other one is here to get you motivated and to help you. So it was also a force to be two people,
Right.
and also we were quite different, so we were complementing each other. And I think it was the key for the success of this trip, is because we are quite different people, but with the same objective, the same motivation to go to Istanbul, and that's how it worked. You learn to rely on yourself, but also to rely on the other one, and to accept to be helped or to help. It's important.
Oh, that's a nice story. Okay, all right. What about, you must have come across some really funny stories. Tell me some really funny stories that you've met along the way, that happened along the way. Interesting stories.
Interesting stories.
Funny
Yeah,
stories.
when we arrived in Monaco,
Mm-hmm.
so this little principauty south of France,
Mm-hmm.
we the last days we slept outside, and it was beginning of winter, and it was in December. It was 1 year ago actually that we arrived there. And over there is a prince, and when he learned that we arrived there in Monaco, he wanted to meet us. So he actually planned something for us to go and see, to meet him, and so we could spend 20 minutes with the Prince of Monaco.
Wonderful.
It was quite crazy for us to be there because we were with our dirty clothes. we could take a shower before to see him, but it was quite a funny situation to be there in this nice office and things. And it was a very nice, very good time, very nice exchange we had with him. Was a very nice person. So it was quite unusual for us to be in this kind of situation. We are more used to small harbors and the beach, so it was funny to be there. Yeah.
Wonderful. He's quite a sportsman too.
Yeah, I think that's why he got interested into our trip, and maybe he would have liked to do something like that also.
Possibly, right.
But we've met so many different situations and people, so it was nice. It was making the days worse to paddle.
Worth it to paddle. Makes it worth it to paddle. Right.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Okay. No, that's just fine. I have permit me just one last question. You have probably many people around you who have dreams. Do you have any message that you want to share to people who are your age or a little bit older who have dreams? Because you've turned your dream into a reality, and it's going to change your life.
Yeah.
Do you have any message that you want to share?
Yeah, I think the key is to be sure about what you want to do, to be driven.
Yeah.
If you have an idea, if you have a dream, you need to be sure you want to do it. And then when you are sure of that, you need to go for it, whatever happens. You need motivation, determination. Some people will try to stop you, to tell you it's impossible and things like that. We had a lot of people telling us it would be impossible to do it.
Quite sure.
Also during the trip. And these people, we never take them into account. Of course, you have to listen to others and to open yourself to advices and things like that. But if you are determined, you can manage whatever you want. With time, you need to be patient also. It took us 1 year and a half to prepare it, so it was very long for us at 21 years old.
Sure.
To have this time dimension ahead.
Sure.
It was very long. So with determination and patience, I think you can manage to do some things, some interesting things. Yeah.
Excellent. That's a great message. Douglas, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. And congratulations again.